Yes, I'm Margaret in Windsor. I'm going to try to read my writing here and hold this up at the same time. Back in prior to 1996, I was living on the Appalachian Trail and off Mountain Pass Road in a hiker shelter. Very cold, very hungry, starving. So I've forgotten what year it had to be, probably 94. I had spent the winter, most of it up there, I believe. I think I have the year correct. And I had just, it was just getting slightly warm, I remember. And I just put my North Face tent, which back then was just a one person or at the most a two-person tent, a small one. And there were no hikers at that time, so I put it up in the hiker shelter. Well, I no sooner got it up, and I had a little clothesline there to hang something on. I don't think I had a backpack back then, maybe a small one. But anyway, it had been so cold and everything, and I just had it put up, and I'm not able to bathe and all that. Although I have, in being up there, I can remember one winter I washed my hair and it was freezing on my head. So, yeah. But anyway, this about the. Well, let me read this first. I remember that there were when I got it put up, the tent. Up came a woman and a man out of nowhere with cameras, and they said, I don't know who they were from. The pictures and everything appeared on the Roanoke Times paper and took about, I believe, half a page. Some of this has about the murder of Kathy Smith's two sons, her sons in South Carolina, where she drove them into the water lake and they drowned. Anyway, these two were photographers, and of course, the picture I later saw was made it look pretty bad the way they phrased it. I took up the shelter from hikers. Well, back then there weren't that many hikers, and certainly not that early in the spring. But it made me sound bad. Didn't tell the truth about why I was up there and living in the conditions I was in. Anyway, they took the pictures, and he said that he had, his name I think was Mark, and he said that he had, well, so this is after the UnaBomber started. He said he had been on the picture of People magazine, I believe, and it showed him, and there were articles about the UnaBomber. He sent bombs by the mail too, just like the one that they're just arrested here. What's his name? Caesar. Sayoc. I can't read my own writing. From Florida, he's accused of sending mail bombs in 2018. So they've arrested him, and I think they're trying to say that maybe it's kind of like the Unabomber back then. Anyway, he was apprehended April 3rd, 1996, 17 years to catch the Unabomber, mail bomber. And the FBI said it was lessons learned from the case applied to the FBI's arrest of Caesar Sayor, the FBI man accused of sending mail bombs, now 2018, the one they just caught. I said back then the Unabomber then was programmed. I don't know about this one. They're saying it was similar to him. That's all I can say. I moved from pillar to post and done every way because I've been telling this and who I am about my kidnapping. So I've felt the blows and the trauma from having the law Well, I'm the victim in it, all of it. And because you don't like what I put up about my kidnapping people, some people, and don't like what I've put up about the mind control murders. And Larry Flint even published article, an endorsement in Hustler magazine back in April of '84. He helped me in a campaign in '83 to replace Larry McDonald, congressman doctor. And then in the following April, he endorsed me and said I knew who was responsible for his shooting. I had been writing about program shooters and the fact you could cure an illness or create it, going back to the Tesla files in 1930. If you notice, I have to try to be quiet because people don't like me telling this unless they find it was their son or daughter put to death, like Timothy McVeigh, who said he was had a chip put up his buttocks by the U.S. military army, and he was put to death. The Oklahoma City bombing, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not sure I'll have a place to live soon again, and it's too cold to go back up on the mountain, and I'm almost 80, so that wouldn't work. So I'll let it go at that. You compare it and see what you think. May have nothing to do one with the other, but FBI here said that was similar. Okay.